Tony Childs.
Hello.
Tell me how your evening's going.
um,
What?
I'm a
Hold
little
on, hold
over.
on. We don't do that up here. Life is amazing up here. Tell me how come your life isn't amazing today?
Um, well, I'm a little overwhelmed. Um, I really wanted your advice because I've kind of been going back and forth considering if I should pause my engagement. Yeah, I know.
If you even make a statement like that, you should probably pause it. That's a hell of a statement, considering one of the most. Well, I'm not gonna say pause it. You should talk to someone. Like that's a hell of a statement right there.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Why do you think like this?
So at the moment, with us being newly engaged and like merging the families. Oh, my fiance is YT. I don't know if I had mentioned that before. But it's been a little bit of a hard time kind of like merging the families
Okay, listen.
and
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was going to ask you because there's some studies behind this. Interracial relationships have trouble with the families. Are you going through some
I
things like
see.
that?
Yes. And it's like, you know, to the point where I'm considering pausing it for a little bit. Um, and I've already merged him a little bit into my family. I told you kind of hooked him up with my dad to help him start his business. But I guess I never realized we haven't really merged me into his family, and it's a lot.
All
It's
right,
it's
stop,
it's
stop, stop. Hold on,
overwhelming.
hold on. Would you be okay marrying him if his people never accepted you?
Y- yes, I think my problem is I feel like
Him.
I'm separating him from his family a little bit, if that makes sense. Like,
That could
especially
pose
his
as a
mother.
huge that could pose as a huge problem. That could be really, really bad. There could be some long term resentment associated with it and everything.
Yeah. And it's like I believe in not wasting time. I believe in, not being stagnant. I learned that from my father. So it's just like I don't know what I should do here. I don't want to be given up either, but
You don't want to move into a catastrophe. Generally, African American people are going to be more open and more forgiving than Caucasian Americans because black people simply just want to be accepted. You know what I mean? It's why we do a lot of the things we do. We suffer from low self esteem, so we'll get $10,000 and we'll go buy a $9,000 chain, something no other community would do. But that is black people's dire need to be accepted. You'll see an African American person help police tackle another black man. We have an overwhelming desire to be accepted and to not be looked at like animals, right? So it's going to be easier to get. Also, let me ask you this: how has the journey of your family accepting him been? Has it been smooth? Has it been rough? It's probably been easier, right?
yes, in the beginning, I think my dad was a little taken back by that decision. I have a family full of strong black men, so I think my dad was a little um wasn't the most excited. But since then, it's been a smooth transition.
Yeah. Um, that thing's going to be tough. That thing is going to be tough because you even okay. So here's what you guys are going to have to do. That thing's going to be tough. Does he have a close relationship with his mom?
Yes, very close with his
That thing
mom.
is going to be tough because see, listen, and this is why there's not that I haven't dealt with beautiful white women, but I would never be in a serious relationship with a white woman, and it's not for any racial reason. I always looked at it like the history is so complicated to where it would take some people with superior understanding to navigate through these waters, to know when I'm probably about to offend this person based on what my culture is like, to know when I have to, I don't want to say but I'll say I. It's a crazy transition. Relationships are usually best executed when both parties can realistically be themselves in their true authenticity. You disagree with that?
No, I agree.
You shouldn't really have to be faking and walking on eggshells, and because the divorce is going to come. If you're living like that, it's not fun. It's not what we were told marriage is supposed to be. So here's what you're going to have to do. You are going to have to confront him respectfully. One thing I don't have a problem with, well, you're going to have to let him know, babe, I'm doing everything that I can, and you know that I am, but I can't allow you to resent me. I can't create a situation where you resent me maybe a year later after you start mourning the death of you and your mom's relationship. Now, I need to know, are you with me in this 100% all the way, even in the result of people choosing to not have the relationship with you that they once had? If it can't be like that, you're going to experience some high levels of resentment that could get really nasty.
Yeah, I can see that.
What are your options? You and him aren't getting married anymore. What are your options?
Well, I guess it's back into the dating world. I wasn't really in the dating world very long before me and him got engaged. And like I told you, I was previously in a serious relationship right out of high school with an older man. So,
I always endorse that. I always endorse that.
and after we broke up, I took like a year to kind of heal. And then I had really just got back into the dating world. I do believe in multi dating. I was taught that by my father. And my fiance was one of the guys that I was dating. And I'm very open about it. I let them know.
Hold on, hold
And
on. Tell me what. Okay, so listen, I do understand the concept of what you're saying, but are you saying that you believe in? Because I think initially everybody's multi dating. Because before me and you got on the phone, I was on the same dating site that you were on, and it'd be foolish for me to believe that when you bumped into me and we start talking, that there was nobody else who you gave your number to, and now we're playing the process of elimination. Is that what you're talking about?
yes. And more so, like my dad just taught me, unless someone, gives you a title and shows you that they're serious, that you should be, considering all your options. And if they're serious, they'll, they'll make it where it's only them.
The older man that you, how long have you been engaged? How long have you been with this man?
We've been together for about 6 months. We're newly engaged, going on like a month.
I'm really careful with things like this because I never want my information to impact the long term of someone's life. But if it's only been 6 months and you're running into this type of resistance, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What about the father?
His father is more chill. Um, yeah, I haven't really had too many issues with his dad.
How many people on his side are kind of making you feel uncomfortable?
So far, it's the mom. I haven't even really been able to really integrate fully because I've been kind of backing out of some of the family events.
Are you listening to what you're saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting.
sometimes, sometimes I encourage people to come back and look at the shows that they've been on of mine. And kind of when you can hear yourself portraying the truth, it hits different.
Yeah. And that's why I really wanted your advice because I'm pretty new to your lives. But yesterday, you were giving very good advice for marriage and relationships. But it's just, I feel like it's a thin line between not wasting time and also giving up on a person. So
I
it's
agree
like,
a
I don't know
thousand
which
percent.
one I'm doing.
I agree. Um, so I want to brace you for some things you're going to encounter. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to measure the pros and cons of you marrying this man and the pros and cons of you not marrying him. This is what we're going to do. So studies show that there's a lot of resistance when it comes. Women like to say, and this study is not even accurate, but I'll just say how they say it. Black women like to say, "Well, but did you know that a black woman and white men tend to last longer than a blah 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 blah?" Right? There's aspects of that that can be confounded based on the amount of people that were participants in this thing. One thing that tends to come into that dynamic uh, is the racist aspect. Right? I'm not saying his mom is racist, but what I'm saying is that is a lot to overcome. So let me ask you this. I'm sure there are things in your life that similar to how some people struggle with alcoholism and they have to beat that thing. There are some things that you had to stop doing and start doing better, isn't there?
Yeah, sure.
And it was kind of tough, wasn't it?
Yes.
So if you understand how tough it is and how many years sometimes it takes for us to fix ourselves and change ourselves, could you imagine trying to fix someone else and change someone else?
Right. And
It wouldn't be a part-time job. That would be your new full-time job. And that's BS, to be honest.
yes, I don't really have the energy to try to change someone else.
Yeah. So it's either they're going to get with the program or you're going to have to do what's best for you. Because to be honestly, thing could be bordering down the line of psychological abuse. You're trying to figure out where you can resemble something of value to them. You're trying to figure out how you can be better, thinking about how you can be perfect in their eyes. Yeah, that's bull crap. Nobody's called upon to move like that. Even the Lord our God doesn't call us, the Lord our God doesn't call upon us to do that.
Right.
And when you have to do that, it's going to be tough. You're going to be walking a tightrope. You won't really ever know how that person really feels about you. She doesn't look at you side eyed anymore. She doesn't do some of the things that she used to do, but you can still see some of the resistance in her spirit.
Right.
Who wants that? Now,
Right.
here's where it is incumbent upon him as a man. And you would need to be tread lightly, be very soft, feminine, and be in your use your position, use your powers to have this conversation with him. Use your feminine powers, even your seductive powers, to let him know, babe, I need you to stand up for me. There's things that are happening that's lightweight bringing some hurt up on me. Now, I really can't fully go through with all of this if I feel like there's me and then there's you and your family. I need to know that you're standing firm with me in this marriage and that you have my back and that you will stand up against anything that tries to make me feel uncomfortable. Because if he can't do that, you do acknowledge that that itself is a form of protection, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What are men called upon to do? What are men's duties?
To provide and protect.
Now, if he's not doing it, then that you don't need to marry that man.
Right. I feel that.
I need to be protected. I need to feel reassurance and the protection that I'm asking you for. I don't need it to be coming from a place of you trying to please me. I need it to be coming from a place where you care about me so much that you are willing to poke your chest out and roar at anything that is in defiance against us.
And that's where I feel like he is gonna resent me because, and he's been doing that. And I explained to him the times that I felt uncomfortable, and now it's like they have normal family gatherings that, that's a part of his lifestyle. And
Yeah,
now he's like, oh, well, we don't have to go and all this other stuff. But I feel like that's where the resentment is going to come in,
yeah,
because it's like now I'm separating him
yeah.
from his family because I'm uncomfortable.
Now, I have my own guesstimations. What made you entertain the notion of dating outside of your race, even to the extent of the white race?
I've always been okay with doing that. I've always been um, like attracted to all men.
Right, right, right. Only reason I was gonna say is like we do. We're not gonna get into why, but a lot of black men are liabilities as it pertains to dating today. Um, it's bad. I know some amazing, beautiful women that have crossed over, and I hate that I can't blame them. I hate it. That's supposed to be reserved for us, but so many of us are not functioning at the capacity that we should be functioning in because we were raised without our fathers, and therefore we don't fully understand how to be all that women desire from men, which is a man, right? So I had to come to a place where I was okay with them. I'm still not okay with our amazing women doing it, but I understand it, right? It makes me look at us like we dropped the ball because even in my eyes, as a man of logic, I just don't want an amazing black woman going through some hood shit. Bitch, would you say? All of that.
Right.
So I had to come to grips with it, right? I'm a man of logic. I don't like letting my personal opinion and my beliefs interfere with the show, interfere with my ideologies and my beliefs. Um, it is going to be tougher for a woman of color who isn't already in certain socioeconomic statuses to find the caliber of man who's still moving inside of integrity and things of that nature. I'm not gonna say there are none, but it's just more difficult because our cult it's not our culture. This is a culture that has been created by white America because black people typically don't even operate like, women on top of cars with dental floss through the crack of their butts twerking. That is not our culture. That's not our black people traditionally respectful, call your house before they ask for who they want to speak to. They say hello. We, we, we've just been messed up. There's so many forces coming together against us, and a lot of our women have bit the forbidden fruit and turned into majority of African American women are white supremacists. Majority of them. Majority of African American women worship Satan. Um, and if you don't believe me, the Bible goes on to say, "You shall know a tree by the fruit that it bears. You shall know a person by the things that they do." You look around at our women today. Do you believe that what you see says, "Oh my God, these women worship God"? Is that what you think?
No, but then that could be hypocritical for me because I'm not really religious.
It doesn't have anything to do with the Bible. Okay, so listen. When you are walking around and you see pit bulls, do you usually go out of your way to pet them?
No,
Tell me why.
because I don't want to get bit.
Yes, those things have a reputation, and we know them by the things that they are known to do. And it's the same with a human. It's the same with a human being. We can look at their actions and tell, is this going to be beneficial to me or not?
Right, right.
Um, I will say this. You said you're not religious.
Right.
What are your beliefs?
Oh,
You don't have any. You don't have a foundation. You don't have a foundation. You do not have a foundation, and that's a huge problem. That you there's not a building, a skyscraper on this planet that does not have a secure foundation. You aware of that?
Yes.
The foundation is the most important aspect. You don't have a foundation. You're just here.
Does religion have to be the foundation?
A power that you rely on higher than yourself does. Because if you're just relying on yourself, you're only a flawed, broken human being. You're here right now on the live with a stranger talking about jams as a human that you might not have the answer to, which is why we need a higher power. Me, myself, when my heart is heavy and I don't know what my next move is, in my absolute worst times, when, when I've turned to my higher power, it just felt better. It felt like I could dump this burden on him. And so my uncle used to always tell me this: it's better to have a gun and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yes, that's the same thing my dad says.
And I view God the same way. If I am wrong and there really isn't a God, I didn't lose. But what if the Bible is true and people who did not believe will go into everlasting punishment? I'm straight either way. You're not. If I'm right, I'm good either way. If you end up wrong, it's a horror story awaiting your everlasting life. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not even trying to talk religion to you. I'm saying, sweetie, you don't have any foundation. You're relying upon mere humanity to see you through to the end of your days. Um, it's like going to school and not needing anything from the people who have proven track records to be professionals in this. You won't get all that they have to give you, and they have proven track records. But you're just, graduating from the seventh grade to the eighth grade. You're graduating, maybe, but you're regressing as well. Everybody else will, you will be disadvantaged compared to the rest of the people. Okay, so my question to you is this right here. It's not a church sermon. I'm just talking to you. When the people you love the most in this world pass, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is that going to hurt?
Mm, like 9, 10.
How are you going to deal with it?
Cry.
Probably going to be a bit more extreme than that. It'll be easier for me than it will be for you because I have somebody to lay my hurt up on. You don't. I
So
have
you're
someone.
saying,
Go ahead.
so you're saying I need a nice Christian man to lead me to Christ.
I'm saying I think you need this. I don't want to push my faith off on you, but I'm going to say this. I don't subscribe to the teaching of Jesus Christ because it was pushed up on me. I've read the Bible, I think, it was either 10 or 11 times. I hate to admit this, but I think I was trying to find the flaws in it. I was trying to find the contradictions. And it was amazing when I would go back and find things that were being said in the book of Ezekiel. And here we are 10 books later. There's something substantiating it. And then in another book of Corinthians, there's something else affirming it. Can we agree that me and you are hanging out? We got 10 of our friends with us. And some people come over, they're shooting stuff up, and there's some girls running around, they're doing crazy stuff. By the time me, you, and our 10 friends meet up a week later and each of us give our account of what happened, can we agree that each one of us is going to have a different story?
Yes.
The Bible doesn't. And that's why I was like, damn, this got to be real. So there's a scripture where King Solomon, there were two women. I want to get this right. There were two women. I think one woman rolled over, fell asleep on her baby, suffocated it. So what she did, the other woman that was over there with her baby, she took the dead baby and went over there and swapped out with the woman's baby who was alive. And the woman knew she did it. She said, "No, that's my baby." She said, "No, this ain't your baby." So they had to take it before King Solomon. And the Bible said, here's what King Solomon's superpower was that God gave him, his wisdom. He got this from God. How do you think King Solomon solved that dispute?
I have no idea.
King Solomon said, "Okay, so I don't know who's telling the truth. Guards, bring your sharpest knife over here. We'll cut the baby in half and we'll give each woman half of the baby." The woman who was the true mother, "No, no, 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 please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's hers. Let her have the baby." And by that, he knew that that was the real mother of that baby.
Mm, that's deep.
Do you understand what type of superior understanding you have to have? Some of this stuff we kind of just have to acknowledge. We have prophecies. These people didn't have the internet, yet they told us there was going to be a time to where, in order to buy our groceries and sell our commodities, we would have to receive a chip in our right hand or in our forehead. Ma'am, they're doing it today. How the hell are these educated guesses? What is this? So
Mm,
I choose to go ahead, excuse me, please, and rock with that. And if I'm wrong, I'm still good. Listen, if you're right and I'm wrong, according to you, I'm still gonna be okay in whatever paradise me and you, or if I just die, disappear, I'm still good. But if I'm right and you're wrong, you are in a lot of trouble at the end of our lives. Now I'm not. I don't want to turn this and that. But what I want to say to you is, it is so much more amazing when you have somebody whose shoulder you can cry on, when you can quiet everything else around you and just talk to him. And my heart is heavy. I don't know what I'm doing. You are the master of me. I'm a lost, lowly, flawed human being, and I know you have all of the answers. I don't need you to guide me, right? It's almost something you should pay for. Imagine a scenario where you could pay somebody to dump your deepest hurts on them and they absorb them for you. Listen, I know sometimes God look at me like, here this Negro come again, but you know I got you. You see what I'm saying?
yes.
I go to him with my BS. So I'm not pushing my faith upon you. I'm just saying you're probably going to struggle throughout life. I don't know. You could be Islam. I don't know. I'm not pushing anything off on you. I'm saying you gotta have something for the things that you don't know. Who do you go to about them? Who do you go to for the answer for the things you don't know?
Typically my dad or my man.
Who do they go to? They don't know everything. They're flawed human beings.
That's a good question.
They probably have a higher power. And who, if they don't, whoever they go to is subscribing to a higher power. That's where they are getting the wisdom to pass on to your husband. We don't just know everything. We have to be getting this higher power understanding from somewhere. But I'm not. I'm definitely not. You know, I don't press my the things. You know, I just can tell you what has worked for me. I like to tell people historically what creates better results. You know what I mean throughout life. If all you're banking on is a man, you don't have much to bank on. A man is a mere flawed human being. The man needs to be getting his instructions, his wisdom, and his fortitude from something higher than himself. You see what I'm saying?
Mm, yes.
And I'm about to get up out of here. You got any more questions?
No, that's all for today.
All right. I appreciate you stopping through.
All right.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Told you people we weren't supposed to have a show today. This red, listen, the after effects of this rock star have me rocked, and it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. I appreciate all of my people who send in the gifts. Only